delivery for transition age youth and adults, empowerment versus care debate. My name is Trevor Dalton, and I am joining in from Idaho for the empowerment side. Also on the empowerment side of the debate is Hannah from Utah.
Hi.
And April from Ohio.
Hi.
On the care side of the debate, we have Jennifer from Oklahoma.
Hello.
Karen from Colorado.
Hi.
And Shalith from Illinois.
Hello.
Who will now provide our debate overview.
Despite the value placed on independence and self-sufficiency in our society and the many laws that reflect it, research has found that individuals with disabilities are not afforded the same opportunities of making those decisions concerning their post-school outcomes. Oftentimes, those with disabilities find themselves in a system of care in which choices are made for them. According to Pincelli, students with intellectual disabilities are not given the opportunity to practice self-determination skills in the real world, and this has resulted in terrible post-school outcomes. Those making decisions for individuals with disabilities, however, are concerned with funding, healthcare, and liability issues. The decisions they make concerning those with disabilities are for the individual's own well-being.
So, empowerment is an important variable that leads to improved quality of life in individuals. There's a couple other variables that are very closely related to it, as demonstrated from an article, and I'm actually going to share a little piece of that. Let me just open that up. So as you can see, emotional well-being, physical well-being, self-determination, interpersonal relationships, social inclusion, rights, personal development, and material well-being are all different aspects from this study that they refer to lead to quality of life. Social inclusion, rights, interpersonal, like there's a lot of these that are kind of very closely related, but a really big one for empowerment is self-determination, or the ability to be able to make choices and be involved in the decision-making for the learning processes that will be going on, and where they want to lead their life and what choices they want to make. And we feel that this is very important for empowerment. In looking up all these things, there was no one perfect definition for empowerment, but we feel that it is important to tailor things for the individual's growth and benefit in ways that include them and their ideas, giving them inclusion and choice to guide their own life.
The majority of young adults now are living at home with their parents. Only about 19% of all students, once they graduate from 21 to 25, have ever lived on their own. This is evidenced through this PowerPoint that I'm about to share here. As you can see, a lot of these students are unable, young adults with autism, they are not currently being empowered enough to make any choices on their own. They do need a guardian or another person to help them make those daily decisions. So the way that this is happening, it needs to continue this way. This is why the care model is better, according to the study done by Healy in 2013. It's the way that they are being serviced and the way that they should continue to be serviced. The Healy study shows that they lack the skills to live independently and make decisions for themselves. They are unable and lack the skills to be able to obtain the care that they need to take themselves to the therapy appointments that they need. A lot of times they are unable to drive and live a far distance from where these therapies take place. So calling an Uber is way too expensive for these young adults to take on their own. Many adults will not eat unless they're prompted to do so by another person. Therefore, living independently would be detrimental to their health and well-being. These can all create situations that lead to harm for that young adult. So the skill level of the adults leads to society taking advantage of them, and that leads to an ethical violation of being just. An adult with autism being taken advantage of violates the ethical cores of being just.
In an article done by Nonamaker and Bombara, they actually did a research an article that was based off of interviews with 10 adults with autism in 2011, and it focused on the adults' understanding of their self-determination and the care that they were receiving. I'm going to share this really quick. So as you can see, this is what they found. There were a lot of issues, one being that there was not enough decision-making and control by the individuals, but mostly by the staff. The staff were controlling personal spending, they were unapproachable or not accessible, so clients weren't able to talk to the staff and get help in areas they needed. Staff were failing to follow through with care and that sort of thing that they were supposed to be providing. And they were oftentimes obstructing and coercing towards those clients in a way that prevented them from being able to make those choices. As another problem was that clients with autism were actually aware that they weren't able to make these decisions for themselves. So instead of just not being able to, they were aware of that fact and they were unhappy by that. Research did show, however, that good relationships with support staff increased the client's quality of interpersonal relationships. And by having staff that were supportive and invested in the client's lives, they were able to feel more in control of their own lives and able to feel like they had the ability to make those decisions on their own. Similar to all qualitative studies, though, the findings were unique to this set of individuals and participants. So we can't really generalize these to other individuals, and we can't say that this will be the result for all cases.
Lifetime diagnosis requires lifetime services in order to transition from the school system to adult care. 1, service cliff. The effect parents report of losing their child's services received throughout their school years. 2, 54% of caregivers reported that their adult child needed more services than they currently receive. 3, 24% of the caregivers reported that services were unavailable to them or were a distance from where they reside. And 4, Alex Gordon case story. Alex is an adult male diagnosed with autism and is nonverbal. After high school, he began to struggle at home, and his parents eventually put him in a group home. At the group home staff focused on teaching him life skills, tasks, and he made friends. Alex still requires 24-hour care, but with this cycle of care, he is able to learn to be more independent. His mother wonders if adulthood is perhaps a great time to learn new skills.
According to the study by the National Autistic Society in 2014, individuals require supports in the following areas in transition to adulthood: education, medical, socially, recreationally, with family, and employment needs. Just because they graduated doesn't mean that they don't need care and instruction continuing into adulthood. For instance, many individuals with autism need prompts for personal hygiene. The skill may be there, but the awareness may not be, or the social motivation. Other areas that this study flagged as areas was 55% of parents in the study reported that their adult child still required prompts for washing and dressing. More care is needed in areas for taking medication, making healthy choices in food and exercise, prioritizing paying their bills, claiming benefits for medical needs. 86% of adults who needed prompting had not been washing themselves, 70% had missed meals, 69% had not gotten dressed because they didn't get this help.
Although some decisions or choices may require support, even small decisions within one's daily life are important to the individual. Nonemacher and Bambara discovered many actions that impeded self-determination in their study. They also found an equal number of themes that supported the participants' self-determination. These themes and the staff members that upheld them directly tie into the core ethical principles. The participants found that when they were encouraged to initiate choice making and even in making decisions that seemed small, like what to have for dinner, they felt more empowered.
In 2013, an article concerning self-determination and choice by Wayhammer and Avery was written, and they presented the current research on self-determination as it pertains to those with developmental disabilities. First, research showed that with adequate support, individuals with disabilities can become more self-determined. Interventions designed to promote choice-making, decision-making, self-awareness, and problem-solving, as well as goal-setting and self-advocacy knowledge, showed a strong effect in single-subject designs. Individuals living in homes with residential staff viewed their role of supporting self-determination as critical, were found to engage in more okay. Sorry, stop. Okay. I was confused because I thought you were just stopping, so I thought you were skipping that and I skipped ahead. Is there a way to like edit it and go back, or do we have to start all over?
I have no idea. Does anybody know if we can edit?
I have no clue.
We were doing so good.
I was like, why did she stop? I'll just go. I'm like,
oh my God, I suddenly like drew blank. It's like, how do I screen share? I forget.
Okay.
I feel like we can't edit if this is live.
I feel like we'd have to start over.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Good practice.
Yeah, I think how did we do on time?
We're at like 14 minutes.
Oh, so yeah. And we're only about half done, so that's good.
I tried to read real slow.
Me too. Okay, I'll wait until I'm sure you're done. I'll wait until you unmute yourself.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And I tried to change it. I'm sorry, because like I left out a bunch.
Yeah, I was like trying to follow along, but then I was like, she's ahead of me, and then I was like, where'd she go? Okay.
Yeah, I skipped like the whole first half because I didn't want to recover the same things, you know, that you said for your part. So I just went to I figured if you just talk about the impeding actions, then I'll just go ahead and do the ones that we're supporting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's skip that. All right.
No worries. Is there a way to